rolling. Make sure the volume is up here. Okay. All right. Welcome to the Black Educator Tea Podcast. I'm your host, Makeda Marie, and today I'm so excited, you all. We have two amazing special guests with us. We have Sharina and Seanice. Yes, y'all, this is a sister team out here doing the thing. And so these amazing ladies have created this adult game. Hey, girl, hey, when I tell you this game is absolutely so amazing. First off, let's look at the packaging. How cute is this? When I received this, I was like, oh my God, how cute is this? And then, I mean, even just from the boxing, absolutely amazing. My friends and I, we love this game. We have played it so many times because for me, it brought back so many childhood memories because I used to love to play games, but it added that adult twist to it. You know, because I was like, now these questions are definitely not for a 10-year-old, but it is for an adult. So it brought back so many memories that me and my friends used to love to do as kids, but it provided that adult twist. And so we absolutely love it. And when I say there are so many cards in here, like so many, and they are beautifully designed and everything. Now, I can say all of these amazing things about these wonderful ladies, but I want them to formally introduce you to everyone. Go ahead, ladies.
Hey, everyone. I'm Seanice.
And I'm Sharina, and we're the co-founders of Hey Girl, Hey Game. We're just two sisters born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. We created a card game that's meant to create memorable and meaningful experiences for women of color, and we're a lifestyle brand.
Wow. So, you know, one of the things as I was playing this game with my friends, and all of these thoughts just started going through my mind. And one of them was, how and why did you decide to create this game? Like, what particular moment in your life or what experience did you have that made you want to create this game?
Yeah, so Sharina and I, we also have an event business called Triple Crown Collective. So throughout New York City, we host events for women, whether it's brunches or bar crawls or vision board parties, all that good stuff. And one year during the pandemic, we hosted a bar crawl and scavenger hunt. So we had over 50 women sign up to be a part of this, and we were going to split them up into teams. And I'm an introvert, Sharina's an extrovert. So in my head, Sharina's ready for the party. Sharina's ready to go. My head, I'm like, how are we going to get strangers talking? Because we've all been to events or mixers where, you know, people don't know each other and don't know how to start a conversation or keep it going. So we stayed up all night, just came up with like 20 questions, printed it at a local print shop on business cards and gave it out to the teams. And not only did the women build connections by sharing social media and networking, but they also were like, hey, where can we get this game? And it was just literally made for the event. So Sharina and I were like, we have something here. Let's stay up. Let's come up with more questions. Think about each social category. Again, me being an introvert, I like introspective questions, deep questions. Sharina likes turn up dares, challenges, great fusion. So it was like a great I guess, solution to a problem that a lot of us face, whether it's like work events or just on a day-to-day catching up with your friends during the pandemic. You know, it was tough to get conversations going. And even after the pandemic, just building relationships was really what inspired us to create Hey Girl, Hey Game.
Wow. And I mean, that is really interesting because when me and my friends were playing the card game, I mean, it brought up so many various conversations that we had never had. And these are friends I've had for 20 plus years. And it brought up so many conversations and just the social interaction. We hadn't done that in years. And so I was so thrilled about it, so excited by it. And just to know that it was created, you know, to get the thing, because I've been in those events and everybody's kind of sitting around looking at each other, you know, and it's like, you know, the elephant in the room, no one is saying anything. And it's like, okay, we're going to, you know, do something. So to incorporate this card game really gets it going, because once you start asking those questions and everybody starts to perk up, and now because I'm an introvert. I think I'm an introvert. I'll say it that way. I don't know. I may be both now. You know, for years I thought I was an introvert, but I, you know, maybe both now. So I'm one of those people that I love to answer questions and play games like this. So that would get me out of my comfort zone. And it really did, playing this game. So thank you for sharing that. And so another question, and you kind of basically answer it, but I want to know, what has been the response from the card game? I know it's probably been absolutely amazing. I'm just gonna, partially answer that for you.
I mean, honestly, the game has been well received among like everyone who's played the game. We're in stores now across the Northeast, and we've played the game with people in stores, and we've had everyone from like moms buy them to play with their daughters, and brothers buy them to play with their, to give to their sisters, and we've even had men play the game, and it kind of, yes, but it really opens up the question, the conversation and the dialogue to explain the story of women of color or just women in general. We've had women of all, like many ethnicities play the game, and it kind of like light bulbs a question like, wow, these are the stories of these women, or these are the stories of my experiences. So we're just excited to see people understand our motive and agenda of creating community and like a safe space to have deep conversations and like memorable moments.
Wow, and that's most important, especially for us as Black women. I mean, because we have so many collective stories that we tell, and only we can tell. Our experiences are definitely unique to us. So, absolutely amazing. So, did you really know that you would have this particular response? Did you just have that feeling like, you know what, I know this is going to be good. I know people are going to love this.
I mean, the way that the women responded when we did that bar crawl, it was unbelievable. They wanted to buy the cards from us that we were playing that day. And it was cards. So we came up with one design that had a smaller pack, and then we elevated it to the pack you have today. And the level of support and the way that people speak highly about it, we knew that we were onto something. We knew that but we also just led with our intention, and the intention was to, again, create a safe space and to tell a story. And you go into different stores and you see products, but this is specific to us.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is. And and for me, it related to me. It really did. When I saw you two amazing, beautiful ladies, I was like, I know this is going to be great, and I know this is something that I can partake in, that I can really appreciate. And so I want to ask another question. What has been your experience as Black women entrepreneurs in such a male-dominant world? What does that look like for you?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I would definitely say, well, we've experienced multiple facets of being a woman entrepreneur. One thing that stood out is imposter syndrome. And we experienced that, on a professional level, whether we're at work and, the corporate setting or the retail setting. There's different feelings of not necessarily inadequacy, but more so like, is this right for me? Am I in the right place? And when we came up with this game, we were empowered because, we have an audience who value what we have. However, we're in an industry where it is male dominated, and we're getting to see a little bit more diversity in product ranges. So when you go to Target, you're seeing more card games, but that also fuels our imposter syndrome because it's like, okay, there are card games out there. So what makes us different? Like, we have those feelings or moments as well. But what really like helps push us past that is knowing that the content that we're creating is evidently beneficial to our demographic. And also, when you go to the supermarket or Target, there's not just one monolithic game. Like, everyone doesn't just play one game. You have choices. So we have something to offer in a different voice or tone that appeals to so many different people. So having that as a reminder helps us to get out of that imposter syndrome, where there's room for everybody at the table. And really helps us to keep going. Sharina, do you have any insight or additions to your experience?
You're right. But if I can be completely honest, we've had while we have gotten support from like people within our community or people with our shared experiences, there are women or men who are successful and have opportunities to kind of pull us up. But, they don't necessarily, take that chance. And, but I guess it is more rewarding to us because we have support from our, peers. We have support from people on the ground who are pushing us forward and those are the people that we're trying to meet. You know what I mean? Those are the people who we're trying to share a story and create that community with. So that means a lot to us, but it is like kind of surprising sometimes if we do an event or a pop-up or an expo or some kind of an event and we see like, wow, this could have been an opportunity to meet and get support from people who could help make a bigger impact. But it is still rewarding when we look back and we see like, wow, the people who, have helped us are people who are beside us and, that we can touch.
Wow.
So.
The people that matter the most are doing the support. And, and it's really unfortunate because I have experienced that as well. And it's like, you want everyone to be, to be supportive and you only get, major support from one demographic and, other supports kind of trickled in, but you're like, I want everybody to be supportive and to, get the gist of what I'm trying to do here. But then I always say it's not meant for everybody to understand it. It's not meant for everybody to be supportive because everybody does not get it. But when you have something amazing like you have, the right people are going to support it and the right people are going to buy it and purchase it and tell a friend and tell a friend. And so it can just keep growing. That's how I look at it. I'm like, especially when you're going in it with positive intentions, I'm like, it's only going to be positive outcomes when you're going in it the right way. And so thank you for sharing that. So you all are such a dynamic team. So I want to ask you, what has it been like working as a sister team, I guess you can say, with your business and your branding? How does that feel? And is that more of a benefit for you all? I wish I had a sister team. I don't have a sister at all. I wish I had someone that could, when I'm having those moments like, oh, I just want to pull my hair out, where they could understand. So how does that look like, or how does that feel for you?
I mean, I'll be honest to what your point was, like, we're sisters. So we've been, learning each other and understanding each other for over 30 years. So we know, Seanice is the deep thought, introverted, structured one. And I'm going to be the one trying to start the party. You know what I mean? But, and, we balance each other because we're the same but opposites. While Seanice is fun on the, more personal level, I'm like, throw me out there. And she knows how to reel me back in. And I know when to push her forward. And I think that definitely has helped us, not only because we have a respect for each other. She's the boss. Like, she does what I do, what she tells me to do because I respect her. But there's a safety in that, knowing that your partner is somebody you've trusted for, decades. And there's somebody that is always going to have your back professionally. And you can trust that. But so it's been it has been amazing. It's been a lot of introspection. We do a lot of self-evaluation and a lot of conversation. And a lot of the times it's like, hey, we got to defer. I defer to her because she knows best in this. And she's like, okay, you're the artist, you got this. Or you're the media, you got this. And we trust each other's strengths and intentions for everything. So it's been going like unbelievably amazing. We do have moments where we like don't see eye to eye on sister level, but the thing is that we've learned is that we have to separate, draw the line in business and family, but also keep remembering what we're doing and what our intention is.
Wow. And I think that is really beneficial for anyone that's trying to do a business, to have that team. I mean, I would love to have, I do have support, but just having a sister, I could only imagine, like, we can feed off each other and we can motivate each other because I assume I'm more of the introvert. So if I had that support that was more the extrovert, that would really push me out even more because I'm usually like behind the scenes person. I'm behind the scenes. I can make everything make sense from the computer. But when it's time, I mean, I can type up the nicest email and everything. But it was a moment for me when it was time to speak out and be in front. I would push back because I was like, I don't want to be that person that's out in front. I want to be the person that's in back. I'm doing all the background work. But I was like, I don't have that extra person, so I got to be both now. So I had to start figuring out how I could just be both.
It's funny that you say that, because we hear women say that all the time. We hear women say that all the time. And then coming out of COVID, where we spent 2 years being to ourselves, that's further enhances that introversion. So I think the upside is, like, that's what our intention with the game is, to kind of create that community so we can start opening conversations to build support with our businesses, or build support within community, to kind of have, you know, that little bit of support, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, because it makes a huge difference, because there is nothing like human interaction. Absolutely. You know, we can, of course, because of COVID, we've been doing so many things virtual, which I'm okay with, but so much gets lost without having that human interaction where I can look at someone face to face, have that conversation with them. And I mean, it even got me to the point that I was so sheltered for like a year and a half because I was doing everything virtual. I was at home, the kids were at home. So we had like our own little space. But when it was time to get back out, I was like, man, I've been sheltered for so long. Now I got to program myself to get back into reality and talk and have this human interaction. But it felt so good. It absolutely felt so good because I, you know, realized like, man, I'm really sheltering myself with this virtual thing, which is amazing because it has its pluses, especially when, you know, like we're not located in the same location. So it's beneficial, but you still have to have, it's nothing like human interaction. It's not. And we try to avoid it sometimes, but you can't, because we need it. We absolutely need it. And I think virtual is taking us a little bit away from that, but hopefully we can get to a point where we get back into having that human interaction and just socializing with each other. So I want to ask you all, not even a question, I want you all to leave us with a statement for any young entrepreneurs out there, especially Black women. What advice would you give to them?
Sean?
That's a good question. Advice, I would say, for women entrepreneurs. Let's see. That's a really good question. So what I would say is really just owning your product, owning it. So this is your brainchild. This is your baby. No one is going to root for it more than yourself. So definitely like being your biggest cheerleader is what I would say is one step for entrepreneurs, but also community is a big thing. So what Sharina and I do on just like a regular basis is if we see there's a need, like let's say there's someone who has a clothing store and we're like, do you need a volunteer? Like, do you need help? And like that opens the door to say, okay, like we're seeing a need, we're being a resource, and in return, they're a resource for us. So it's like, you know, back in the days where there was the bartering system where it's like, okay, I'll give you this if you give me this. And it's like, okay, we're pulling our resources. We don't have much. So we're going to give what we can to uplift, you know, other businesses and communities. So I would say definitely be your own biggest cheerleader, but also be of service to others that are either in the same level or where you want to be to really help build and strengthen that community aspect and help your dreams in business grow.
Oh, wow. You know, and that is really good advice, because it's all about, like you say, owning and knowing that this is your product, this is your baby. Put your all into it, your effort, your sweat, your dreams, put everything into it, invest into it. And that looks different for everybody, but this is your baby, so you have to. But then also giving back as well. You know, in order to receive, you have to give, you know, and so it's all about giving back, but then also knowing that I tell people that all the time, because I do consulting amongst like 30 other jobs, like seriously. And I do. I don't know how I be standing sometimes, but I always tell people that's trying to start a business, you have to invest in it. You have to sit down with a plan. And you have to put so much into it. And sometimes it's going to be really frustrating, because when you're putting your all into it, it may not come out as you want to at that point. But I always tell them, just continue to go, continue to fight, continue to put into it. And I promise you, it's going to bloom. That's the word I like to use. It's really going to bloom, but it takes time. It really takes time with the business, and you have to be willing to put in that hard work so you can reap those benefits. Absolutely, because being a business owner, it's not easy, and it's not for everybody.
It's not. No, that's why Seanice and I are very much givers. Like Seanice said, we will see a business in need. It doesn't matter what capacity. If we can volunteer to help, we don't want anything in return. We're happy to help. But sometimes people have come up to us and say, "Hey, who's your manufacturer?" Or how can they want information? And then so many times we're like, "What is your product?" And they haven't solidified what that is. And we've had that experience before where we've asked for help and haven't even done our own research. So I would say to women, like, hey, know what it is, do some research, solidify what it is that you want to do, and people connect. You'll see people connect more to people who, like, have published effort, someone who has already put in some work, and they want to support you along the journey. But you got to do your own work as well.
You do. You have to know what it is exactly that you want to do, because people I work with, they somewhat have an ideal, and I'm like, pinpoint it to exactly what it is you want to do. And it could be 2 or 3 things. It doesn't have to necessarily be one thing, but you have to know, and you have to be confident about it. Because you can't say, I want to do this one week, and then the next week it changes, something else, it changes again. You're never going to get anything off the ground if you continue to change it. So it's like, focus on 1 or 2 things that you really, really want to do, and the support and the right people will come, because now you're confident about it. You know what you want to do. I always say, people, when you lack the confidence and you don't necessarily know what you want to do yourself, then you're not going to get the right people at that moment. Because they're even trying to figure out what it is that you want to do, and they're like, well, she's a little bit all over the place, so I can't even be supportive, because this week she wants to do a boutique, and the next week she wants to do this. So it's like, I'm trying to be supportive, but what are you doing? So you have to know exactly what you want to do, and you have to be really confident about it. And that was a lesson for me. Because I was all over the place. I was one of those people years ago. I wanted to do like 35 different businesses, and I was like, this is like absolutely impossible. I can't do this. And then I would get upset when people didn't want to support, but I'm like, I don't even know what I want to do. So how can they be supportive if I'm all over the place? So I had to pinpoint it to exactly what it is I wanted to do, and then able to convey that as well. Because people would ask me, hey, what it is you want to do, or what is your business? And I would just be all over the place trying to describe it. And they're probably like, okay, I still didn't get what her business is about. And she talked to me for like 10 minutes, and I'm still confused on it. So you have to be confident, but you have to convey it in a way that people understand it and that people get it. So thank you so much for giving us that absolutely wonderful statement. And ladies, I just want to thank you so much again. This has been absolutely amazing, your journey, and will continue to support you, and nothing but blessings and blessings and blessings on top of blessings are coming your way, because you are doing something that is so positive, that is uplifting for us as Black women, and we need it. I mean, we definitely need it out here. And as you continue on your journey, and as the blessings and the money and the abundance and everything starts to flow, I can't wait to see in the next 6 months to a year how amazing things are going to be for you all. And I really do mean that. I honestly, anytime I have conversations and I say things like that, I really do mean it, because it's all about uplifting us, and it's all about seeing us grow. And especially when you have a product that is for us, that helps us to see who we are, and helps to uplift us, and help us to socialize, and spend time with our family and our friends. And I mean, there's just so many amazing things that comes out of Hey Girl Hey. And so I'm excited in the next year to see, as I walk through major stores, and I'm and I'm walking down the aisle, and I'm just, oh, okay, let me go grab another one so I can give this to a friend, or to to my mom. And friends and family and
Yes.
I cannot wait. I promise you, I cannot wait. So again, I want to thank you all so much for participating in this. And as always, this is the Black Educated Tea Podcast.